Hey there, super friends. It's Joey with Last Point Gaming. Today is Friday, April 12th, 2019. Apologies ahead of time for all the extra super skippy sounds like my windshield wipers and the fan in my car. But it's getting to be about that time of year where the fan of the car will become ever more present. Anyway, this has been kind of a lame Friday, not gonna lie. Got to start my morning with office drama that involved an actual water cooler. That was... Generally, my job's okay, but just every once in a while, everybody comes to work and decides that they're gonna be a kindergartner. It's weird. And crossing 6 lanes of traffic to get between my building and my parking spot. It's always... Yeah, you know what? Sometimes it's not bad. Sometimes I barely break stride. Other times it's like a super exciting live-action game of Frogger, where you only have one life. Luckily, I was really good at that game as a kid. God damn it.
Incoming call. Press the pick. Call rejected.
Who you are. Go away. Alright. So here we are. It's Friday. Got tons of War of the Spark preview cards running around out there. And yeah, we call them preview cards now, not spoilers. One big thing when it comes to preview season, please take the time to cite the original source if available when sharing a preview card. A lot of times it's going to take you like 30 seconds of Googling if it's not attached to whatever post you're sharing from. But like the preview cards are awarded to content creators by WotC. And I think I've discovered that I can't even have my window down here. God, this is annoying. I kind of feel like this mic sucks more than my last one did. I'm going to have to get a new one. Anyway, all neither here nor there. So WotC awards preview cards to content creators that they feel kind of fall in line with what they want to see from the community, right? I don't know if y'all remember that there was a big hubbub a couple years back when Jeremy from, the infamous Jeremy from MTG headquarters / Unsleeved Media / The Quartering / whatever. He was given a preview card, and, it really upset a lot of members of the community because he was, he was an edgy shitlord kind of guy, rabble-rouser. So, they felt that such an antagonist in the community shouldn't be given. It was a big hubbub and everything, and WotC actually publicly apologized for giving him a preview and it'll never happen again kind of thing. So, pothole run, yay! So, when preview cards are shared about, especially by larger creators or curators, without attaching the original content creator that first shared the preview card, it kind of defeats that system and makes it less of a reward. MTG Goldfish has actually been really good about sourcing the preview cards they share this time around. In the past, they weren't good about it, at all. SCG, on the other hand, come on, get with it. And I mean, I'm an SCG fangirl, and I'm loath to say anything negative about them, but, especially from that large a source of Magic news, not everybody's going to click the link and go to that content creator's Twitter or Twitch or YouTube or whatever. But, a couple people might. And that's the thing. So, anyway, if you're going to share previews, try to include the source if you can find it. I had retweeted some preview card, and I literally spent like 30 seconds Googling to find the original source to attach to my retweet of it. Because, yeah, it's kind of... It's a thing that, like, it's a piece of etiquette people should probably observe. Okay, so, yeah, that's my whole spiel on that. Sorry, this one's a little disjointed. It has been an incredibly long day, and it's fucking raining. And the rain always makes me so tired. Anyway, we got pre-release coming up in 2 weeks. Super exciting stuff there. Oh my god, what is happening here? Why do you not understand how merging works? So yeah, that's like really exciting. I'm excited to be a part of that. Some really neat stuff in the next set for standard players. I don't know how much of it's really gonna have much of a home in Modern. I know there's some talk of a few different things, like when I tuned into Versus Live yesterday, there were people asking, I can't remember what the specific card was about for Modern, and Ross was like, yeah, your turn 6 combo in Modern. He's like, you know, it's cool and all, but yeah, you're probably not living that long, you know. Modern is a very fast format in general, that you either have to be fast or you have to have a way to slow the game down. So, I don't know how much of this is going to matriculate into the Modern playables, but some neat stuff for Standard. I'm not liking how many cute toys Esper Control is getting, because, you know, that deck's already a thorn in my side. I don't even know if it's broken, like if it was straight up busted OP, or like it just annoys the shit out of me. I think it's the second one. I hate the color blue. I think that's really what it generally comes down to, my pissing and moaning about different things, is I'm like, and I would have had you too if it weren't for those meddling blue cards. I hate the color blue. Neither here nor there. I'm trying to think of anything like super exciting. The Boar God's kind of cool. You do some... So, Husband pointed out that with Demanding Dragon is pretty fucking adorable. Because Demanding Dragons, every time it hits the battlefield, target opponent... It's either target opponent or all opponents either take 5 damage or sack a creature. Their choice. So, to just kind of keep dropping him out. I mean, the thing is, you gotta protect the boar, right? I mean, he's got a nice big beefy body, but still 5 power or 5 toughness is overcomeable. I'm not sure. So the God cards all have the same... I thought it was the Avenging Angel effect because I didn't fully read it, I guess. I kind of skimmed it. So Avenging Angel, if you're not familiar, because it is an old, very bad card, was when it died, you could choose to put it back on top of your library instead of in the graveyard. So all the gods from this set have that kind of thing. If they would die or be exiled, they go in your library 3rd from the top. And, you know, they have that instead of, like, being indestructible or anything like that. Not sure really how I feel about that. Both as a trying to play them and trying to play around them. I don't know. It's a very kind of odd mechanic. So basically, the only way you can stop recursion is to mill it out of your opponent's deck or rip it out of the hand. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see how that one turns out. The new Black God, what is his name? It's not Ronus. It's not Ganti. Bantu. Took me a minute, but I got there. He's looking kind of neat for a certain type of aristocrat shell. And I'm all about aristocrat decks. It's not like I love playing this style of deck so much. Because, you know me, I'm into the white weenies and the tokens and the either death by 1,000 pinpricks or, you know, gather the conclave, shit that gets bigger with friends. But there's a lot of appeal for aristocrat style decks just because people should be punished for killing my things. They should. Absolutely. So I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, other interesting news. So I think, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure, Mythic Championship London, is it this weekend or is it next weekend? Is it pre-release weekend? Is that the one that everybody was freaking out about? I don't know. Mythic Championship London's coming up. Where, of course, we're going to pilot the London Mulligan, though apparently that is in MTGO right now, that you can go play around with it. Though not... Last I saw, not functioning as intended. My favorite is apparently there was, maybe still is, a bug that if you mulliganed and then hit Control-Z, you could restart the game. The only thing I can think of is that this functionality was put in for testing purposes to easily test code, starting back at 7. And somebody failed to remove it before migrating it through the environments. Because that is the only reason that I can really think of that functionality having ever touched that code. And, it's kind of mind-blowing, really. I tell you what, some of the bugs that make it to Moto, if my team introduced bugs like that to prod, we'd all be looking for new jobs. But programming is, hard. Testing is a big thing. Somebody should have caught that. Anyway. And, it is a weird scenario. Like, is there any reason to hit Control-Z after you decide to mulligan? Or did somebody just try this and it was like, oh, look at this is cute. Anyway. So not only are we piloting the London Mulligan, which is exciting and interesting, and I really hope it works out well. But I definitely have a lot of concerns about it. But they're also, as of round, 5? It's by round 3 or 5. All players are going to be presented with their opponent's deck lists at the start of the match. Again, just like with the London Mulligan, I am trying to reserve judgment and not be a traditionalist. Oh, well, this is stupid because this isn't how we do things. But for ages, the way things have gone is in Swiss rounds, you don't get direct access to your opponent's deck list. I guess if they do a deck tech session on camera, you can look it up between rounds. But in the top 8 rounds, you were given your opponent's deck list, so you knew exactly what was in it. Now, I never really knew why we did this for the top 8. I don't know if it's to kind of reduce the amount of non-games there, so you don't, like, sideboard poorly. I don't know. Or maybe they're like, yeah, at this point you've played a lot of Magic and, you know, it's... Or, yeah, hey, maybe it's like, you know, at this echelon of competition, it should really be about your skill and not about your gotchas. I don't know. I'm really... My knee-jerk reaction, of course, is to severely dislike this idea. Because, you know, this isn't how we do things. And, you know, that's one of the rewarding things about brewing something that actually works. Not that I'd know what that ever feels like, because I don't. I'm the worst deck engineer ever. Doggy, doggy! There was a dog. Sorry. I mean, that was one of the rewards of playing an off-the-beaten-path deck, is your opponent's not really knowing what to do. Or even just, you know, some new sweet tech in your deck. Like, leading up to the Mythic Championship, the Mythic Invitational. A lot of the pros wouldn't talk about, you know, their deck lists and stuff because, you know, they're keeping that a secret. And, you know, they don't want their opponent to, you know, get matched against them and be like, oh, okay, I'm matched against their Esper deck and they have this piece of tech in there. Like, you know, they keep that to themselves. So, yeah, I'm really not sure how I feel about this. Like, again, trying to be open-minded, but, like, why are we simplifying the game so much? Oh, husband's not home yet. Guess I'm picking up the kids. Yeah, it just, I don't know, it seems weird to me. I mean, I've had the cool gotcha cards in the sideboard and stuff. Where, like, I was one of the early adopters of running Rampaging Ferocidon in Rami Red. I also took out... I had, like, a mass damage spell that I ended up taking out for Fiery Cannonade because Soulscar Mage lived through it. Plus, even without, like, with Soulscar Mage, even if it didn't kill stuff, it shrunk stuff, so that was pretty cool. So there were more of my creatures that lived through it than... Wasn't there a 3 damage spell? Was it Sweltering Suns, maybe? Something along those lines. And, yeah, it was a fun piece of tech, and, okay, it eventually ended up getting adopted by other people, but, you know, I was one of the early ones to, like, decide to do that. So it was kind of neat to kind of catch people. Now, I mean, I mostly play at an F&M level, but, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. But, anyway, I'm, in the parking lot at daycare, so I gotta go. As always, if you made it this far with me, thank you very much for listening, and hopefully I'll talk to y'all on Monday.